Kia ora team, welcome to Thermomix head office. I'm here with celebrity chef Mark Southon. We are going to be using our new accessory, the Thermomix Sensor, today to make 3 incredible dishes for you guys. We are live on Facebook, so I've got our lovely Sarah Kearney operating the chat box, so hopefully she can fill in your questions as they come through. If we don't, then we'll get to them when we can. So Mark, tell us what we're going to do today.
Right, so we've got some fantastic dishes, a nice selection of a main meal. We've got some bread we're going to make, and we're going to make a fantastic chocolate dessert as well. So I'm going to start off with some lamb and really showcase this sensor because it's a great piece of kit. You can cook your meat perfect every time and it's effortless. So we've got some beautiful lamb racks here. So the cap's been taken off this. We're nice and thick. You can see that. It's really nice. We're going to seal it off like traditionally in a pan. We're going to put the sensor in. We're going to cook it in the oven. We're going to forget about it until the sensor tells us to take it out. It rests and it's going to be perfect every time. We're going to make a quick chimichurri. We've got some broccoli in each. We're going to steam all in the Thermomix. And make a little cheeky red wine jus as well. I'll show you how fast and easy that is.
Fantastic. And so for those that haven't seen our sensor yet, what it is a smart connected Bluetooth thermometer. Now you can use this whether you have a Thermomix or not. It's always better if you do have a Thermomix though. It just takes that guesswork out of your meat cookery, your baking, and also your cakes and desserts and stuff like that. So the way it works is you take it out of the little charging board, and it's magnetic as well. So you can pop it on to your fridge or your oven or whatever you need to do. Then you're going to come over to your machine, go into your settings, and you want to make sure that you've got your Bluetooth turned on. So that's one of our benefits of the TM6 compared to our other models as well. Scrolling over to our modes page, you've got a whole lot of different modes on here, and the one we're looking for is the Thermomix sensor. Now, if it's the first time you've ever put a sensor onto your Thermomix, you're going to need to add it as a new device. Just make sure you connect it to the Wi-Fi as well. Then it's going to pick up your Thermomix sensor and connect it. Once you're connected, we can go back into the mode. And so we're able to select from a whole range of different modes and food types, so cakes, breads, beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and fish, and then choose how we would like to be using that. So some of the recipes we do have on Cookie Do have an option where the sensor is already integrated into the recipe. But if you're wanting to manually cook, you can just go through this way as well. So this is all set up, ready to go. So the first recipe we're going to get started on is our free-form basic bread. Now I love making bread in our Thermomix. It's just so easy. It takes that guesswork out of the dough. Do you still make bread from scratch?
Yes, when I've got time.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a lot easier than in Thermomix.
100%.
Because it weighs it out for you as well.
Yes. So yeah, the recipe we're doing is the free-form basic bread. Scrolling down, for those that don't currently have a Thermomix, it'll show you a list of ingredients that we need. Now we're going to be using wheat germ. If you don't know where to get wheat germ, just some local food store will work, or you can also use buckwheat or something like that just to mill at the start.
It's quite accessible now though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can get it in some shops and look around, so it's good.
Yeah, it's great. So we'll be milling this down into a fine powder to be using to flavour our bread. We've got some flour, some yeast, and also some water and oil, okay? So all we need to do is press the start cooking and we're on our way. So we're going to go straight in with 100 grams of wheat germ, 99 is close enough. Pop our lid on, and that's going to be milling down to a nice fine powder on speed 9. Cool. So you can always stop your Thermomix when you think it's ready to go. So if I continue to keep milling this, it's going to get nice and powdery, but we're going to leave a little bit of the texture in there as well. It's milled down quite a bit. And then just continuing on, it says you can take this out, but I'm going to leave it in there just to activate with that yeast. I'm going to go in with 300 mils or 300 grams of water, and the scales are directly on the machine, so just watching that as you weigh it in. What are some of the breads that you like to make in your Thermomix, Mark?
Pizza dough, that's probably my favourite one.
Yeah.
It's really easy to make. You know, I think it's like 4 or 5 ingredients. Throw it all in. It needs it mixes the dough. It needs it. You take it out, put it in a bowl, you prove it, and it's ready to go. And then Beautiful.
Yeah, fantastic.
It's really good. But I've tried milk breads as well, brioche in there. Cinnamon breads as well. Lots of different recipes, and that's the best thing about Cookie Do is there's hundreds of thousands of recipes actually on there from all over the world, and it's so easy to use. Find the recipe and it guides it out every step, tells you what to do. It's all preset. You can weigh on there. It's everything. It's idiot-proof cooking.
Awesome. So that's our 300 mils or 300 grams of water, 2 teaspoons of dried yeast have just gone in there too. We're going to pop the lid on. And does anyone know the perfect temperature to activate yeast? Well, our Thermomix does. It's 37 degrees. So our machine is going to be heating that up for 2 minutes on speed 1 for us, and we'll pass it over to Matt.
All right, so we've got our lamb rack here. So the important thing when you're cooking meat, especially like really thick meat, and you want to get it nice and perfect, is take it out of the fridge, 20 minutes, even 10 minutes before, just let that meat come up to room temperature and you'll get a nice even cooking temperature through your lamb. And to get flavour onto meat, you want to seal it off. You want to get a caramelisation. So if you sous vide, you're going to cook the lamb really slow first, which you can sous vide actually in the TM6, and then you're going to seal it afterwards. So we're going to do it traditional way. So we're going to seal the meat first, and then we're going to roast it in the oven with the sensor. So I'm just going to get the pan hot. Just going to go with a little bit of olive oil, and I'm going to season the meat lightly. So nice bit of salt on there. And remember, like when you're seasoning meat, it looks quite a lot of salt now, but when you're cooking it in the pan, a lot of that seasoning comes off. So it might look at the beginning that you're putting way too much salt on, but you're not actually. Especially on a barbecue, you're putting it on, it's all falling through it as well. So doesn't look as much as it is for the
and that's a different type of salt than your iodized type of salt, right? You probably would have been coating it fully in iodized salt.
No, exactly, yeah. So you've got more of a sort of flaky rock salt, so larger crystals, and it's a little bit less salt in.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fantastic. So yeah, we've just noticed we need to speak a little bit louder onto the live team. So thanks for those comments. Sarah's doing a great job in mitigating this for us. So yeah, making your own flavoured salts is something that you can really do with your Thermomix too. So I love to do a good rosemary salt around Christmas time as gifts for our friends and family, but also a whole lot of flavoured sugars works really well as well.
I'll be expecting sugar.
Yeah, too easy. Right, so we've got 7 seconds on our yeast getting activated in here.
Cool. Right, so oil's like in the pan, and I'm just going to pop it in away from you. You can hear that nice sizzle in the pan. And we can get it hot. We're not actually cooking the lamb now. We just want to get a nice heat in the pan, a nice colour on all sides, and then we'll pop it onto a tray.
Fantastic. Okay, so now we have just activated our yeast, our wheat germ, and our water. Following on through the recipe, we've got 20 grams of extra virgin olive oil. Now, if you want to add a flavoured oil in there, go cold. Remember, it's your recipe, the guided recipe, so just there to help you on video. And adding in 4 grams of baking flour. Now for bread, I normally use a high gluten content flour just to help with the stretch of the dough. Then a pinch of sea salt as well. And it's asking for that reserved wheat germ in there, but remember we left that in there, so we don't need to worry about that. Making life easier. Adding on our lid. And now that's going to just mix for 6 seconds. Okay. Now it's going to be on our dough function now for 2 minutes. So 12 minutes of hand kneading team is equivalent to 2 in the machine. So you don't have to stand there with flour all over your feet, working your arms and muscles until you get really tired. It's all going to be done nicely with Thermomix. And so this is the only time we kind of ask you not to walk away from your machine and take the ducks off the bench. We've got our Thermomix here sitting on one of our beautiful glider boards too, and they're really great as a host reward to actually prevent your scales from going.
I really like the knead function in there. Now, it's on 2 minutes, but to get the same consistency and springiness and smoothness like you do by hand, it'll probably take you 5 times the amount of time as well. And yeah, a lot easier. 2 minutes, you can go make a cup of tea, watch it.
Yeah. Right, just getting a great focus on there.
Right, so you start to get a bit of colour there, which is really good. So just control that heat. We want it nice and hot. You can see it's getting hot. But if it's getting too hot, just turn it down a little bit. It's all about even heat. You need a little bit more oil, pop a little bit more oil. You need that oil to get that nice colour.
So you can eat a little lamb in your household as well, Mark, or is there a?
Yeah, we love lamb. Really good. And it's such a versatile protein as well, you know, quick cut loins or chops, great on the barbecue, great at home. You know, you get a lamb leg, lamb shoulder, slow cook it.
Yeah.
No, it's really good. And it's one of those classic proteins, proteins you get.
How's that sound, Minister? Better? Think so? So if you guys got any questions, feel free to chuck it on the chat box there for us.
Yes.
So I've got another one of our beautiful host rewards out here as our thermo match stick. So we use these a lot for proving our dough from our machines, and here it's really great to keep everything nice and contained, create a bit of a warm atmosphere as well. So I'll show you how we can take our dough out and prove that for us.
Yeah.
If you guys put a picture on the seats, we've got all our mixture mixed in, nice, easy dough. The easiest way I find to take the dough out is to turn the bowl upside down, let it legs fall through, and nice and clean as well.
That's it, the top tip. I love coming to Thermomix because every time I come, I learn something new about the student. It's brilliant, and there you go. I've never seen that before. So we're just going to get all the sides of the lamb nice and coloured. So you've got the main side, the back side, and you've got these two sides. So you've got 4 sides, what you need to concentrate on.
Nice. Yeah, it's so important to colour your meat and develop that flavour at the start because this adds so much difference. Right, so once you've brought your dough together, we're just going to be wrapping it up nicely in our thermomat and creating that humidity chamber for us. So it's almost like a little proving chamber that you'd have in a commercial bakery.
But the important thing is as well, when you prove the bread, like it can't have any air getting through it. You don't want the dough to dry out. That's going to, hinder the proving process. You're going to get dry. It's going to get different texture. It's going to be a whole world of pain, really.
And I think that's the reason why so many people maybe have difficulties with cooking bread, because they haven't proved it long enough, or their yeast might be a bit older as well. So this is what our bread dough will look like after about 30, 40 minutes of proving. So you can see it's really developed, that gluten structure starting to come out. And in chef and bakery terms, we're looking for this spider web consistency. And that just tells us that the dough is actually got the right stage. What would you say, Mark? Yeah, good.
Yeah, I think that's really good. You know, it's knock the air out now, nice and stretchy and springy, and you can always just fold a little piece of bread, and then you just test those all the gluten strands which are all coming together and nice and strong, and that's going to give you a great piece of bread.
Cool. So all I'm going to do is not knock out too much of that air. Taste it a little bit. What would you do with this sort of bread dough?
I mean, it's so flexible, you can do anything. I mean, in the restaurants, we have to make it a bit more fancy, spend a bit more time on it. We used to weigh them out about sort of 60 grams, fold them in on each other, roll it, so similar to this, but like a mini version, and then have it nice and thick in the middle, and then we used to roll it down into like little spikes.
Nice.
Do you want to try one?
Maybe not live.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
I haven't done it for years.
Yeah. So once we've got to this point here, team, I'm just going to let it prove again. It's really important that you let your bread go through that second prove. And then I've just got some sunflower and pumpkin seeds that I'll sprinkle over the top. So we'll just leave that for a little bit.
So it's going to probe it. Right, so lamb, so it's nice and brown now. So what do I like to do? Because butter makes everything taste nice. I'm going to add another butter in there. I've got a garlic clove, which I've just lightly crushed just to release the oils, and a little bit of rosemary. Normally I would finish with this, but we're going to make a really quick red wine jus. So I'm going to need the pan for that. So, make it easy at home. One pot cooking. I love doing that at home. Less washing up is always a bonus. So that's why I'm going to add the butter in now. And the garlic and the herbs, that's going to flavour it. And I'm going to pour the butter over the lamb when we cook it. So it's just all about extra flavour.
Nice. Right. So in the essence of time, what I might do is just show you guys how to insert your Thermomix sensor. So when you're doing cakes and stuff like that, the bottom of your charging port has a little holder to attach onto your tins. So whether you want that sitting directly in your bread tin, or if you've got a chocolate cake like we'll do a little bit later, you can pop that in as well. When you're just going into the bread itself, you don't need to use this. Ooh. Okay. So you've got a little guide on here, a little line, so you need to make sure that that's sticking outside of the dough, just so it can reach the actual sensor itself. Chuck a little bit of oil on here, and we'll add the seeds and just let it prove a little bit longer before we throw it in the oven. I think it's at 180 degrees. Nice.
So what temperature are you going to, what temperature do you want before you put it in the oven?
Yes, so right, so I think it's about an internal temperature of about 40 or something, 50, what did you say?
Which is great, because you can look at bread sometimes and you can go, oh, has it doubled in size, or is it got too much? Is it going to overproof? So this is a really good indication to get that internal temperature, so you know exactly when to put it in for the best results.
100%. And look, here's a perfect example of one of our recipes that includes the sensor as well. So we've got a little video that shows you how to insert the sensor into your product. And that way you will get perfect results every time. So you don't want to be putting it completely in your dough and it having to get lost. So just enough so you've got that guide still sticking out as well. Cool.
So speaking of sensors, we've got our lamb sealed off. We've got a little bit of that extra butter for flavour. I've opened the thermo sensor. It's already connected to the machine, so you just go into your icon here on the main screen, click onto that, and then click onto the temperature, and then you've got all these presets here. So you've got beef, pork, lamb, bread, fish, cake, all manual cooking as well. So it's great. So what you can do now, click onto the lamb, find out what cut it is. So go into the chop, go into the loin, and then you've got a selection there. So medium rare, medium well, well done. Don't know why we've got well done. I know some people like well done, but it's fine. It's actually tastier. But so it's all preset. So medium there, so it'll be an internal temperature of 60 degrees. But if you want to go, oh, I want it a little bit less, but not as much as medium rare. You've got that leeway, so you can click onto medium and you can actually move it. So you can actually sort of knock it down to 58 if you want, so you can have a really precise cooking. So I'm going to do that. Insert the probe's in, it's all ready to go, and it's going to go straight in the oven, and it's going to tell us when it's ready.
Fantastic. So same with the bread as well, team. So it's asking for an internal temperature of 96 degrees, and that's just going to make sure our bread's no longer doughy. And that recommends about 50 minutes cooking time. So I'm going to throw it in now, and if it's not quite ready by the time we've finished today's live, we'll put up a photo of it at the end as well.
Right, so as the lamb's cooking, we're going to create our two sauces. So a little bit of jus. So we use the same pan. So we've had that butter in there with garlic and rosemary. We poured the majority of it over the lamb just to make it nice. Stolen the bread. The bread tray. We're going to get it warm again. So you still got a little bit of that butter and oil in there and flavour. That's what you want. Everything adds to flavour. Get the pan hot. We're going to deglaze it with some red wine. Works really well with lamb. If you've got white wine around or some rosé, that works fine as well. Pop it in there. Good splash. And you bring it up to the boil. So as it's boiling now, all the alcohol's going. And then we've got some beef stock as well. So we're just going to pop that in. And literally, we're just going to reduce it down. So it's not too thick. We'll taste it. You can add some more garlic in there. You can add some more rosemary in there. But the key here to make a really tasty sauce is all the resting juices from the lamb. Once it's rested and all that sort of butter and garlic, rosemary on there, we're going to finish the sauce with that, and that's just going to give it some amazing flavour. Really simple, easy sauce. So as that's reducing, we can go on to chocolate dessert.
So we've got our main working. We've also got our bread ready there as well. We're going to get some cheap chocolate molten lava cake going on as well. So another beautiful recipe that we do have on could do. And so we save it all to the weekly planner as well. I hope you guys are using the most of your cooking and using those other features like our weekly planner, that could do shopping list and all of that stuff as well. And we're just going to get straight into it. So this will go in a little bit later. So we've pre-lined a baking tin as well. So just one of our rose gold ones from our mixture. Love the rose gold stuff. We're going to be going in with 225 grams of just diced butter. Remember to tear your scales. That should be a little bit more. Perfect. Now we've got 250 grams of dark chocolate, so you can use whatever chocolate you have. 220 grams of plastic sugar.
So normally if you would make like a fondant or a cake, you melt in the chocolate and the butter separately over a pot and a double boiler. You know, which is fine as well if you haven't got Thermomix. But the beauty of this is, you know, you're doing it all in the bowl, so less washing up.
And then at the end, you're going to have a beautiful chocolatey bowl that you may as well just pop some milk in and have a nice hot chocolate from as well. So that's going to go for 5 minutes at 60 degrees on speed 2. So that in turn is, going to melt that chocolate and butter together with the sugar.
Right, so as it's working over here, we're going to go back to this Thermomix. We're going to make a really quick chimichurri. So lots of recipes online on what you do for chimichurri. I like to just put everything what I've got on hand and just blend it all together. So basically it's herbs, it's olive oil, a little bit of vinegar and some garlic as well. And a little pinch of chili as well. So always remember, put your box next to you. That's next to your frozen. So next back to the films. Right, so I've got some garlic cloves in there, so just peel, that goes in there. A little bit of chili. Got fresh chili, beautiful with fresh chili. If not, just use the dried seeds, that's fine, just get a pinch. You know, again, use the recipe or do the cake. You know, it's all about cooking, it's all about cake. If you like it spicy, put lots of chili in. If you don't like it spicy, leave it out, put like a little bit in. So, you know, entirely up to you. We've got parsley here. Great. So I grow lots of herbs in the garden. I'm sure you do as well. So, you know, you can put whatever herbs you want in here. Basically, it's like a herb sauce. Now, even like a little bit of like young rosemary would go really well in here because it's the lamb. Got parsley as a base, and I love coriander. So I'm going to put coriander in there. This gives it a really fresh, singy flavour. So I've got the chili in there, the garlic in there, coriander, a little bit of lemon as well. Let's put a little bit of zest in. Just gives you that little zing and freshness. You know, for those last days of summer, what we've got at the moment, you know, we can still pretend it's fresh and summery before we do the braised dishes. And a little bit of vinegar as well. So use whatever vinegar you've got on hand. Red wine vinegar is nice, sherry vinegar, and this is a little bit of cider vinegar, and then some really nice extra virgin olive oil. Pop that in.
I love how much just eyeballing all of this just feels like you know what needs to go in. So that's the whole benefit of using that manual function as well. So don't be controlled by the recipes. You just want to freestyle, you can totally just do that. If you look at less than that, yeah, you can totally just use your Thermomix in whatever way you need to.
So you were saying freestyle.
Fantastic.
So we're just going to blend that and get it a nice consistency. You know, use it as a starting point. I'm going to put some more oil in there to get nice consistency, and then I'm going to start tasting it and then tweaking the rest of the ingredients.
Nice. So on your Thermomix as well, you've got that little copy sensor up the top. So that's a little triangle in the center of your machine. It'll show you where you are in your cooking step in your recipe, but also underneath it'll tell you the temperature of your sensor, so it can tell you where in the cooking it is and how long it recommends that you've got left to go on it as well. Smelling great.
All right, so give it a little bit more. So just going to have a look at it now. So you can see we've got lots of herbs in there. It's quite dry. So it needs a lot more olive oil. So we'll put some more of that in.
What other dressings or sauces like this do you like making, Mark, when you're washing?
I mean, I love doing this. I love doing this with herbs or roasted peppers or just anything what I've got lying around, because the beauty is you pop it all in, blend it, and you get a really good texture from it and a really good flavour. And purees as well. I love making purees at home, and then you just throw them on some Thermomix and you get beautiful, nice and there blended, nice and silky smooth. So you can see. So you got a beautiful colour as well. It's just, it's chopping it really fast, and nice sharp blades as well. I mean, you can make this by hand and chop it all by hand if you want, but if you're going to make a big quantity, it just takes ages, but you get a slightly different sauce. It's more like oil with herbs in it.
Yes.
This is more like a real sort of nice thick herby sauce.
Yeah.
So it depends what you want. If you want it nice and thick, you could leave it like that. You could add a little bit more olive oil just to loosen it slightly. It depends what you want to do on your presentation.
Yes.
And I've got a little bit of salt in there as well.
And I think compared to other blenders that I've used, but also at home use as well, the risk that you have with some blenders is that they are blending it so long, it heats up, and then your herbs are going to go brown, and just don't get that with Thermomix.
No, exactly right. The longer you're blending it for, it's causing friction, it's causing heat. Heat with anything green, it's just a no, because it just cooks it. You lose that freshness, you lose that colour. You just don't want to read it. So we'll have a look at this. So see now, nice consistency. It's still nice and thick, full of flavour, but it's just got that looseness just to go over it.
Beautiful. Right, and here is our chocolate and what did we put in here? Butter and sugar mixture. That looks good enough to just face plant, but we're not going to do that. So we need to turn it into a cake. So I actually recommend letting the chocolate mix cool down for about 5 minutes. And the reason being is because we're going to add eggs. And so what happens with hot products and cold eggs is we're going to end up with scrambled eggs. We're just going to leave that to cool slightly. And Mark's going to let you go in there.
Yeah, so I just tweaked it quickly. So just added a little bit more salt and pepper, and I want a bit more acidity in there. So I've just added a little splash more vinegar. You could add lemon juice as well, whatever you want, but it's all about nice and fresh, sharp. You've got that garlic coming through, you've got that little bit of heat, depending on how much you want. But it's just, it's just an explosion of flavour in your mouth. Eat it with the lamb, fantastic.
Yeah. That's another thing to consider when you are making your meals at home. You want to have that balance of, salt, acid, fat, and heat. And so with our lamb, it's quite high sometimes in fat. We're making this beautiful sauce that's got a good level of acidity, of heat, and also some flavour in there too. Yum.
There you go. It's
Gorgeous.
nice and green, nice consistency, packed with flavour.
How good, Tate. Okay, so in our bowl here, we're going to be adding 65 grams of plain flour. So we don't want to be adding self-raising or anything else to that. It's got a pinch of sea salt. I always like to have a little bit of salt or savouriness in my desserts. I find that just really helps balance it out. And we've got our 4 eggs here. Same thing again, we're going to pop our lid on now. And just mix that through for 5 seconds. Perfect. Oh my gosh, that's just incredible. That is just like a lava concoction of chocolate. How good. So I'm going to pour that into our lined baking tin here. we do actually have a couple of new rose gold products coming into the mix shop as well, team. So they will be on there pretty much, I'm assuming, in the next month or so. I need to get some clarification, but they are specially designed for aroma tins, so you can be steaming your rice or cornbread or cake while you're currying, all of that is cooking in the bottom too. So we've been really lucky as consultants to earn these recently, and we got to test them out last time, and it's just incredible. All right, what's next year?
Right, so we're just going to save some broccolini.
Nuts.
So we've got some water in here. Set time now. Pop that on. So we've pretty much got a full meal, feast even, all made on Thermomix. You just need like 7 Thermomixes and 10 bowls.
Yeah, but the time it saves you to do that all, you know, simultaneously. Really lucky we've got a dishwasher here, but I mean, it means you can just keep going on with what you want to do. So the reason we have decided to focus today on our sensor is because we have teamed up with Kiwi Harvest, and they're a beautiful company in New Zealand that helps minimise food waste. There is a massive amount of food going into landfill every year, and there's even a bigger amount of New Zealand families that are going through food insecurity as well. And so with the Thermomix, we're able to minimise food waste, save money, get the most out of our food that we're using. With our cooking as well, we're able to go in and search by recipe for ingredient and make sure that we're using all those little bits and pieces that are coming out of our fridge. But also with our partnership now with Kiwi Harvest, with our consultants out there in the field doing our cooking demonstrations, every single demonstration that we do as consultants, Thermomix are donating $10 to Kiwi Harvest, which is intended for creating 20 meals for those who need, which is just amazing.
Brilliant.
And so with that, we are able to, 1, feed a whole lot of people, 2, minimise a whole lot of food waste, and 3, just really do our part to combat such a big issue in New Zealand as well. And so the sensor is one of our limited offer host rewards as well. So just for hosting a demonstration, not only are you supporting helping Kiwi Harvest, but you're also able to get with these beautiful sensors as well. And so Mark, you've had a bit of a play up with your sensor.
Yeah, I mean, I love these sensors. You know, it's taken me years to cook meat perfectly just by touch and feel. But I shouldn't have bothered. Should have just got one of these. No, they're really good. They're really handy. And then once you actually get into it and use it, you can use it so much more than just cooking meat. You know, it's fantastic. The options are limitless, and it's a great piece of kit. And you'll get one, you'll use it, and you'll be like, well, how did I cook without it? You know, it is a fantastic piece of kit.
Yeah.
And even professional chefs still use it.
Yeah, well, it's just creating that consistency, right? Like you don't want to get that really expensive piece of thigh fillet or even lamb rump or sirloin or whatever you guys are putting on the barbie, and you know, just have that failure in the kitchen. And with the Thermomix sensor, we're able to mitigate that and prevent it from happening to a point, which is really, really cool too. Nice.
So that's good. So lamb's cooking. So I've just flipped it over. I'm just going to check where we're at, what temperature we're up to. So you can see we're at 42 degrees. We've still got to get up to 58. It's giving us the time, 16 minutes. 15 minutes now. So it's really good. So you can actually do all the things on the Thermomix, go back to it, and it will tell you what to do. So, you know, you've got 15 minutes. So you go and do something, pull the lambs out, let it rest, and then you know when you're going to eat.
100%. And I don't know what your mother was like as a cook growing up, but mine was I'm going to stab the chicken until it's absolutely dry to check if it's cooked. Was your mum like that as well?
No, she was a really good cook, actually. She was a really good cook. So,
Yeah.
no, that's why I'm a chef.
Yeah.
She inspired me. But I know those people, and they're like, oh, we'll just do it.
Yeah.
And they use the biggest knife,
Yes.
and they stab it,
Yes.
and then and they start stabbing for about 5 minutes in the oven, which is still going to be raw.
Yes.
So literally, any moisture which would be in the chicken has come out through those giant holes in the chicken, and then when it runs clear the liquid, they leave it in for another 10 minutes just to be on the safe side. Which I know I can understand. You know, it needs to be cooked through chicken, but there is a perfect point where it's cooked through. It's at those temperatures,
Yeah.
and you rest it, and it just melts in your mouth. And you know, the Thermomix sensor will allow you to do it.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's a great product. The sensor, you can go on to our milk shop and just buy it. It is a value of $269. Now, just for having a demonstration with a consultant, you're able to get one for $215, which is a massive saving already. But if you manage to invite a few people to your Thermomix demonstration with your consultant, and one of your friends or family members ends up purchasing a machine within 2 weeks, you're actually going to get it for $69. So it's a great opportunity to grab an amazing product sensor. Not only that, but also support Kiwi Harvest by having a demonstration as well, and learn more about your Thermomix, whether you have one or not. It's a great opportunity to learn some new things with your consultant as well. Yeah.
I mean, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no excuse now. Get off the couch. Do some demos. Get a pro.
Yeah, I have 3
Sense.
demos this week. You know, do your part, New Zealand. We need we need to help Kiwi Harvest.
Exactly. Do it for Kiwi Harvest to get a sensor.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So here's our little bit of juice. So red wine in there, pan juices, and the stock, and we've just brought it down. So it's still quite light. I don't want to take it down too much, because once the lamb comes out, I want to warm it back up, and then we'll bring it back up to the boil, so it will come down again. Put the juices in there, and we'll just put it over the lamb. Leave it quite nice and light, but you've got that rich flavour in there. You've got that tannins from the wine. You know, it's going to be really nice offset against the chimichurri.
Beautiful. And so, yeah, you can see Mark's got his sensor just about ready to go. My one is recommending, it's got another 24 minutes in the oven to cook the bread. So we might not get enough time to see how the sensor cooks the chocolate cake, but I will definitely put up some videos of that later.
Do some Q&A though.
Yeah, if anyone's got any questions, I feel like Sarah can help us out with the chat box there. But Mark, you've actually got a collection on Cookie Dough.
Yes, I have, exactly. So that's another reason to get a Thermomix and the Cookie Dough app. So I've got a collection, so there's quite a few recipes out of my book, which we converted to be able to do all in the Thermomix, which is pretty amazing actually. There's a venison Wellington, which you make the entire thing in the Thermomix. Well, you make the mousse and the crepes and everything, and then you build it and put it in the oven. But we've got lots of desserts in there. We've got panna cottas, we're making hokey pokey in there. So it's really good. It's really fantastic. And then I have got one of the recipe which I create for Thermomix, which is a lamb pappardelle, slow cooked lamb pappardelle. And basically you make the whole ragu in about 3 hours, slow cooked in the Thermomix, and it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, I would say that's my recipe, but other people have said that as well, so I can say it.
Yeah. And so, Mark, there's not too many questions just here, but tell us about your journey maybe as a chef and kind of what you're doing now.
So I've worked around New Zealand, so you might have seen me in some restaurants, food store back in the day on the viaducts, O'Connell Street Bistro, and then recently set up the Hilton in Karaka. And then now I doing bits and bobs now. I'm sort of doing a private chef, doing consulting work and some media work. So it's quite exciting now. So it's just a different balance for family life. So so I'm really enjoying that. It's really exciting. And you know, it's a different project every week, really. So it's quite cool. And I've just been asked to do a wedding in America.
Oh, fantastic!
So it's quite good.
Yeah. And so you've done a few TV shows as well, okay? So what was that? What was that like?
Yeah, so we did a few TV shows back in the day, which was really cool. It's really exciting, and this is quite cool as well. Doing this the Facebook Lives, because you've seen it as we do it. TV, you know, you see the polished products like in a recipe. You don't see the mess. You don't see like dropping the pepper milk. You don't see those things. You know, it's all polished. Believe me, it all happens, but it just gets edited out. No, but it's really good. So it's quite exciting. And there's we're actually in talks to do another TV show as well. So watch this space.
Fantastic, cool. And so you've got a Thermomix at home.
Yep.
Yeah, and so you've obviously got your chefing background, so you know the potential of what you can do. But what is your favourite dish to make in your Thermomix?
So it's probably my lamb ragu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because I do a lot of private dinners as well. I do lots of prep at home. I mean, the Thermomix gets a real good workout. I mean, it's just constantly working out. I mean, I do all my purees. I do everything in it. But purees come out really well in the Thermomix. Herb oils as well. I like that. I mean, that's one of the amazing things what you can do in the Thermomix. You know, is having restaurant quality, full of flavour herb oils, and it's literally so easy to do. Hollandaises as well, brilliant. You know, I take these to people's houses, and And because it's just me on my own, like doing all the dish, plating it, cooking it, and everything. So if I want to do a hollandaise on the side to serve a beef dish, you know, I put it all in there and let it go, and it does it. And I know that, you know, in 8-9 minutes it's going to be ready, and it's going to be ready to serve. It's perfect. You know, I don't have to stand over a pan and cook the yolks out and do all this. You know, I haven't got time to do that. So it's really cool. So there's lots of little things, you know, obviously in the prep side of it, but then also in the serving side as well. It's fantastic. You know, I can keep, you know, soups and consommes and things warm as well as I'm serving. You know, it's just one less thing to watch. So this is my like sous chef in the kitchen.
100%. I get that a lot too when I'm out there if they're doing cooking demonstrations, and they'll ask me, you know, what's your background, and I'll be as a chef, and I'll be like, well, you cook, so why are you going to use this? And it is for that exact reason. Okay, so just
Literally enhances everything.
Exactly.
It's really, really good.
Yeah. And for when you don't really feel like spending hours and hours and hours in the kitchen, and you really still want that quality product at the end, it just helps you get the cooker as well.
Oh, totally. And you know, I mean, winter's coming now. It's starting to get colder. You know, those crock pots. You know, there was a big fad last year. I mean, it still is. It's winter. It's perfect. You know, it's like those one pot cooks, really low, full of flavour. You know, those cheaper pieces of meat, which obviously helps at the moment. But there's so much flavour in there. You know, curries, anything, ragouts, stews. But you can do it all in the same roast as well. Because the slow cooking
Absolutely.
app on there, so it's like a crock pot as well. There's so many functions in the Thermomix, which makes it worthwhile.
Yeah. That's
And there you
oh,
go.
broccolis looking awesome. And you've got 3 minutes left on your land.
Fantastic. So there you go. So you can check it. So I mean, that's another thing. So I'm steaming broccolini there. You know, I don't have to get pans out. I don't have to boil it. I don't have to, you know, drain it off and everything. You know, it's just great. You know, take it off, drains off there, put it on the lid so you don't get water everywhere. It's fantastic. So many little bits of bobs.
Yeah, it's amazing. This is our dough that we've made at the start of the live, and it is already trying to escape from the dough mat here. So top tips as well, team. What you can do with these bread doughs is up to you. It's a universal dough, so we sometimes use ours as a bread loaf like we've done today. It's another great recipe to make with your consultant. It's actually part of our menu matrix of our recipes that we do at our demonstrations as the bread. But yeah, like Mike was saying, you can make it into little buns. You can maybe
To show you some shapes.
Yeah, do some shapes. See if we've still got the neck, eh?
We got 1 minute.
How many shapes can we do?
So just bear in mind, I haven't done this for probably like 20 years.
We haven't prepped them at all, too.
Right. So, you know, you get your dough, however much you want to do, and then what you want to do, if you want to get a really nice milk bun, so sort of squash it a little bit, and then you want to cup your hand or rolling around, so the palm of your hand to your fingers, and your thumbs are holding it in. We're rolling, and as you're doing it, it's going tighter and tighter and tighter. You get this beautiful round milk loaf. But this is what you want. So in the restaurant, we used to call these monkey's bum. It's all this chef term, but that's what you wanted, because then it all. Oh, I've got the lamb.
That's all right.
You take it out,
And so
take it off.
that's the sensor telling us the lamb is ready.
There you go. Saved by the sensor. So yeah, sensor's gone, so we know it's 58 degrees there. So we're going to take it out. So important thing now, we want to let it rest. We'll take it off the tray, let it rest, and just give that, you know, probably a good 5 minutes resting. We'll keep all those juices. And then got the nice bread roll, nice shapes, nice and smooth. Monkey's bum goes underneath, and then as it proves, it all proves out. So it's a nice, beautiful shape bread, and it's nice and fluffy. It'll be fantastic.
Perfect. Now I'm just going to take the sensor out so I can wash that really well, and we can pop it in the chocolate cake so you can see how we use that little guard for the cake.
All right, and then this is the bread roll I was telling you about. So get your portion. I think the broccoli is ready, so I'll turn that off. And you're just going to flatten it. You're going to bring it in on itself a few times. Roll it into a little log. And then we're going to put more pressure on the ends and roll it down. So we used to have to make about 100 of these a day. We had 3 different breads, but this is one of them. So there you go. Just got to make sure it's nice and even. Both sides goes nice down to a point, so it's really crispy here and nice and fluffy in there. Crispy on the outside here. And then once it's proven, we slash it, a bit of flour, It's fantastic. It's really good.
Look at these guys, amazing. So this is the bottom of your sensor. It's a nice little bit of rubber. And you've got a little hole in the middle of it, so you can actually just go in and slot the sensor in. So you're not going to have your sensor drowning in cake batter. So that's definitely not what you want. And same thing, just making sure you've got that little line exposed so that it's going to reach the temperature correctly, and making sure you've got the base close to your oven as well.
That's a really good piece of kit, because I would have tried to balance the sensor in the middle of the cake, which had fallen in, and it would have baked the sensor in the cake. Right, so broccolini, so you can see, nice and steamed, take it off. So this has got the holes in as well, so this will drain, and then you can pop it on your lid, and you don't get water everywhere. I learned that last time.
So Mark, we just had a question come through
Oh,
in
yeah.
the chat. What is your top tips for roasting meat?
Top tips for resting meat, so take it out, rest it in a warm place. I would take it off the tray because the tray's hot, so you've got lots of heat on the tray. So you can just take it off. You know, people always ask me as well, you know, do you have to cover it with foil? I suppose it depends how hot or where you're resting it. You know, if it's in a big room like this, it would be good to cover it with a bit of foil.
Do you want these juices?
Yeah. Right, so we're going to do, we're going to pop all those juices in there.
That's all flavour team, don't throw that out.
So that's the lamb juices, that's some of the butter, some of the garlic and rosemary flavored butter. So that goes in there, and it's quite nice. So it's almost going to be like a jus gras, like a stock split with fat. So you can split it with roasted lamb fat if you want, or wagyu fat, or even butter, like what we're doing now. But that's all flavour. And then we're going to pop these juices in last minute once it's rested. But yeah, just depending on where you're resting it. If you're resting it in a hot place, you don't want to sort of cluster it too much or cover it too much, because there might be too much heat in there. It might overcook as you're resting it. So I like to rest it. Say, I mean, in the restaurants we used to rest it just off the stove, so it's a nice place. It's nice warm. We would take the meats a little bit, take them out a little bit earlier. So if we wanted a nice sort of medium rare steak, we'd take it 2-3 degrees before, so it's a little bit under. It'd have extra time to rest. And then when we served it in the restaurant, we would put it back into a pan with more butter, more garlic, more thyme, rosemary, whatever. And you just warm it and caramelize again, really fastly though, because it's all got the heat in there, but you just warm the back outside of it, and that would help warm the meat up when you serve it. So if you want to do that, that's my top tip, do that. But if you don't want to go around to that extra extent, and we've already put the butter in beforehand, so we've done it reverse and put it in the shoe.
Cool. All right, should we play that?
Yeah, let's play.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. So everyone,
And
let's long play.
Yeah, we'll do the long plate. So it's a nice thick piece of meat. So, you know, you give it a little bit of resting. You know, don't be too scared. I got
Yep.
Thanks. If it's because it's intense, high heat, you know, do need to give it that time resting. You know, if you left it in the oven a little bit longer, the longer you rest it, the more chance you've got it to go overcooked. That's cool. What we can do now, just go between the bones. And then this is the moment, truth. Put it, and you see it's nice thing.
Gorgeous.
So someone asked me the other day, you were like, you know, so much experience and you're so natural in the kitchen, and you know, you don't get stressed and stuff. And they're like, "What do you ever get? Like, is there a point through the cooking or serving dinners, you know, you get stressed or you freak out or you like panic?" And I was thinking about it, and it's probably when you make a Wellington.
Oh man, it's just guesswork, right?
It's guesswork. I mean, you can edge it. I mean, you obviously use the sensors. It's brilliant,
Yeah,
because then you know that internal temperature, and that really sort of hones it in. But then sometimes, especially using different people's ovens and you've not done it before, you know, different temperatures, hot spots in there.
Yeah.
So doing that for someone, you know, in their own home and doing the Wellingtons, that's probably the biggest thing, especially that first slice. And you're like, is it okay? Is it not? Is it too under? Is it perfect?
And it's
So
not like you can put it back in and undercook it. Like once it's gone past that cook, it's done. So yeah.
Once it's gone past, it's it's too much. But then at the same time, if it's not cooked enough, it's just as bad.
Mm.
you know? So it's sort of like you don't want to, so you just want to make sure you're getting through just the side of the bones.
That looks gorgeous. And so, another top tip that we do as well in kitchens is like we've seasoned the meat at the start, and we want to make sure we do that finishing salt as well, because you know you've got your juices that have come out too. Making sure your other
Juices.
condiments aren't too salty, and so we can go and finish that salt. Nice.
That's it, yeah, and is that what you were talking about when you just
Yes,
finished
finishing
it? Yeah.
salt, yeah.
So we just add a little bit of salt in the centre of the meat, because we've seasoned the outside, well, no meat's gone to the centre. Centre. Sensor. Yeah, this is a great recipe as well, just for, well, you've still got some nice weather for the weekends, you know, beautiful barbecue, nice and light dish. Got that really quick red wine sauce there, with a bit of stock in there, but then that flavour is that last minute flavour. You keep it nice and light. It's just going to be a little bit on there. Sorry, I'm making a mess. And then got a chimichurri. You know, you can set it on the side if you want. It's quite nice as well.
Yeah, the colour contrast. So
Yeah.
we're at head office in Auckland team. If you guys are around, this is getting served up right now. So feel free to pop in and have a taste.
Well, hurry up because I'm not at breakfast, so I've got my eye on that for that.
Perfect. And then we've just got our broccolini there as well. I thought I'd go and braid my garden this morning. We've got
Yes.
we cheeky nasturtium leaves. So are you guys growing your own food as well and getting the most out of that as well? Because there's some beautiful produce we have, not only around Auckland, but we can also grow things quite easily too. Things like nasturtiums that are like a weed. They've got, you know, the leaves, the flowers, but also the little berries that we're able to pickle those into sort of cake berries things as well. What do you grow in your garden there, Mark?
Heaps of herbs.
Yeah.
Tomatoes, cucumbers are really good. Lots of berries for the kids. Kids love the berries, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to grow a lot more, but it is hard with time and being busy, and then you forget about it. Come back to pick it, it's dead.
And then with the weather too, like we've had so much rain, so obviously the rain's amazing for the garden, but then it also makes things grow 10 times faster.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'm just going to pull out our beautiful bread
Oh,
here.
wow, look at that.
Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous. So our sensor's just about to go off, but I thought I'd quickly show you guys what we're dealing with here. So it's got a beautiful colour, caramelisation. We've toasted those seeds on the top. Nice and hollow sounding, which is good.
So if you pick your bread up and you tap it there, it sounds hollow. But you don't even need to do that. You don't need to burn your hands and do that because you've got a sensor.
Yeah, fantastic. So I think we will probably start to wrap it up here, team. We'll pop up a photo of our molten chocolate cake. We've made a quick vanilla Greek yogurt to go with that. But I hope you guys have enjoyed today's live. We'll probably have Mark, no doubt, back soon before you know it. But yeah, definitely go book in your demonstration with your consultant. Help support Kiwi Harvest. Grab yourself a sensor as a host reward, and we'll see you real soon. Okay, bye.
Bye, guys. That's awesome, though. Like.
Beautiful.